And I want to talk about sowing even as it applies to your health. Now, when you come in for an office visit, what are you sowing into? Your health. If you sow into your health, what are you going to reap? Health or sickness? You got it. And that's a given law. That means that if I continue to sow, if I implement healthy habits, I'm going to get healthy. Well, I'm not there yet, Doc. I'm not experiencing any change yet. Okay, so if you stop implementing healthy habits, do you think you're going to get there faster? No. So with sowing, there's a concept called patience and progression. There's sowing, there's time, and then there's harvest. But you don't grow weary in good doing. Why am I telling you this? One of the main things that stop people from bringing resolutions to reality is their patience in that progression period. That's why they stop. They have an intention. I'm going to lose this much weight this year. I'm going to not do that. I'm going to do it, right? And what happens is they start that thing and they don't see the result they want right away. See, we're in a culture that's heavily reliant on instant gratification. Everybody wants everything now, right? And drug companies know that, and that's why they make you feel better while you die more comfortably a lot of times. Because rather than focusing in on implementing healthy habits to get healthy, the person thinks they no longer need to do that, right? I had a patient the other day. She came in. She said, Dr. A, I hurt my back. I pulled it out. I have this pain down the leg. It's a new patient. And she said, I went to the acupuncturist and I went to the medical doctor. They gave me painkillers and the acupuncturist put a whole bunch of needles in my back. I felt good, so I decided to go running, and now it's worse than ever. And then she said this, was it the acupuncture? True story. Yeah, because I felt worse after getting that done. I said, do you know what happened? She said, no. I said, when you did that acupuncture, it numbed the problem. See, and pain is there to let you know not to do certain things. Like, don't move that way. Because when you move that way, you get ouch, right? Somebody says, when I turn my body this way, I get pain. Well, don't move your body that way because your body is trying to heal and it's telling you don't go there because you're going to cause more damage to the tissue there. So stay in this position until I heal this. When you take a painkiller, you know what you shut off? The body's alarm. You shut off the body's way of communicating with you. And all of a sudden, she thought, now I don't feel any pain because like she killed the signal. Now I'm all good. And she moved her body in ways she wasn't ready to move in and caused further damage and then wanted to blame the person she went to the one time. And then she said, what do you think about acupuncture? I said, it doesn't get to the cause. I said, acupuncture manages the problem. You're treating the symptom with an analgesic, which is a form of painkiller. You're using acupuncture to activate certain release of dopamine, but the problem is the bone that's out of place, that's crushing on the nerve, is still there, and every minute it's there, you get worse, even though you feel better. And I said, it'd be like going to a dentist and finding out you have a cavity because you have damage on the nerve, and he gives you a shot of lidocaine so you don't feel anything. And you say, okay, I feel great. But the damage is on the nerve, so what's happening to your tooth? It's getting worse and worse, but you feel fine. That's what painkillers do. See, the pharmaceutical companies understand the idea that people look for instant gratification. I don't want to be in pain anymore, Doc. I've been there for 20 years. I know, but if you've been there for 20 years, it may take more than 2 seconds to get better. But I don't like that. I know you don't like it, but that's the reality. And if you try to beat the time of it, what you're going to end up doing a lot of times is hurting yourself in the interim. How many people know that there's a quick get-rich scheme that you can always get your hands on, right? You know, oh, somebody calls you up and says, I got this great thing, you know, you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. I'll listen, but if it sounds too good to be true, I'm going to be a lot more diligent. And I'm not going to let my emotions control a decision like that. Trust me, I've been down those roads. Okay? It's always from the same person, too. The same person calls you up to tell you got a great deal going on. This time, it's the real one, I tell you, you know. But I found that if I wanted to succeed and I wanted to reach a certain level, that the first thing I needed to do is make a category for it, and at the beginning of every year, create a vision of what it's supposed to look like. And I say that because vocation is a place of work, and the only thing you need to focus on is what would it look like if you were just giving and giving and giving and getting your joy from giving rather than getting. You'd be full of joy because you can always give. But when we give with the expectation, when we give with attachment, when we give with the idea that we're supposed to get, whether it's a relationship or whether it's at work, we're always disappointed or resentful. But when we're giving and giving and giving, I promise you the blessings are going to come when you bless others. It's impossible to get around that. The challenge is that some of us stop too soon. And it would be like planting seed in the ground, and you're watering it and you're watering it and you're watering it, and it's growing. You just can't see it because it's under the ground. And so you just stop 3 days before. You were going to be right there. You were about to see a little blade come out, but you just stopped. And that's what happens when it comes to goal setting or vision setting. So I call it vision mapping because goal setting is like, well, you could get there, maybe you don't, it's okay, it's a goal. But when you say this is my vision, you're going to more likely come and bring it to pass. And I want to tell you, oftentimes it's God that puts the vision in your heart. And sometimes we think it's our vision. It's not your vision. It's just been planted there.